All right, the tools you'll be given. Each of you will receive a wooden block. This goes on the edge of your desk, and it helps so that it doesn't slip, because that's when accidents happen. You will receive 3 carving tools: small, medium, and large. Each of them make a U shape. All right, so I would probably start off carving the larger areas first. Let me zoom in. I would also follow the contour line. So I wouldn't just make all of your lines straight. Then it's going to look kind of boring. I would carve against where the lines actually are. Make sure your hands are always out of the way. So on the sides or like underneath the linoleum, the worst place to have it would be like you're carving right here and your hands here. Obviously, you're going to want it. So like, let me move the camera. The safest place would be for your hand completely behind. That way, if you're carving this way or this direction, if your hands are down here, then you know you're pretty safe. All right. So sometimes I like to steady it by holding the top part with one hand and then the base with my other hand. And then I'm just going to begin carving. All right, so I would recommend, again, carving out the large areas first. So say I've done everything in the background and I need to transition to the smaller areas. Well, then I would transition to one of my smaller tools. Remember, the colored in areas where my lines are, that's what I'm gonna leave. So I need to make sure I carve around my lines. And most of you chose to do this, so you need to make sure you carve on either side of the line. So like that side and then this side. So then I know, so let me show you. So either side is carved away, and so the ink will go right on the line where I want it to go. Depending on what type of texture you want, you should choose your carving tool. So if you want it to look like there's really large lines, I would use a larger carving tool. If you want it to look like there's a lot of little lines, I would transition to the smaller tools. So think about the texture that you want the look. So I kind of want mine to look like feathers. So since I kind of want it to look like feathers, I'm going to use some of the smaller tools and kind of make some lines that make it look more like feathers. Sorry, it's kind of hard to see. All right, almost done. What else did I want to tell you guys? Shh. Oh, yes. Lastly, this is very soft linoleum. Shh. Do not accidentally carve too deep. You will make a hole through it. I do not have enough to give people extras. So start off slightly on the shallow side. So don't carve it too deep, right? Because then if you want it deeper than that, then you can go back a second time. But you don't want to right away the first time carve way too deep and then create a hole. Because that's the point of no return after that. Okay?